For anybody who doesn't know me, my name's Victoria. I run Chronically Hopeful. It's a delight to have you here with me today. I'm so excited to be doing part 2 of the chronic illness series tag. I had hoped to get this up a little bit sooner. However, life with chronic illness is quite hectic. I have an infection with 3 bacteria currently, just a UTI, but it's still hectic with chronic illness. And I've also been dealing with some extra symptoms like some seizures and stuff, so things didn't go as planned. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you have any video requests, please let me know as well. Somebody did request that I do something on dogs, and I am working on it. It's just not quite ready to be recorded or posted yet. Hopefully this week. No promises though with chronic illness. That's how it goes, unfortunately. Thank you for your understanding though. Alright, so I'm just going to hop right into the main topic. How has your condition impacted your mental health? So I'd say overall, it hasn't had a huge impact on my mental health, but it definitely does affect me mentally. I've dealt with depression and anxiety, like I think most people have with chronic illness. Mine has not been super severe until recently. Recently, I've struggled a little bit more, which I'll get to in a second. Overall, though, I've even went through times where I had near-death experience, and my doctors were like, okay, let's put you on an antidepressant. I'm like, I don't really think it's necessary. I'm not really there yet. And I told them, you know what, I'll let you know when I am there. I would, of course, like I said, go through crying, anxiety from time to time, but it was not something that was impacting my life in a huge way where I felt like I needed a lot of help. A lot of my doctors did feel like I was lying to them, which I wasn't. They thought I was lying to avoid another medicine, which wasn't the truth. But, oh well, I told them, you know, I'll let you know when I do need something. So with that being said, recently with the lack of nutrition, it has become a little bit more of a struggle. I do also have generalized anxiety mildly. But I kind of just cope with it through different ways. Let me know if you want to know how I've coped with mine. It's definitely a work in progress, and definitely as your symptoms shift, your mental health does shift as well. But I feel very blessed that it has not impacted me in a way that makes my life a ton more difficult. So describe your social life, which is an interesting topic for those of us with chronic illness. I have a lot of Facebook friends who I'm very close with, and it is always lovely to talk to them, especially from support groups. It kind of makes me feel more normal. Having people to talk to who are sick. If you don't have a friend who's sick like you and you're sick, go get one. Join a support group. Seriously, it makes a huge difference. It makes me feel a lot more normal, which is huge with chronic illness. I'm also involved, which I think I've mentioned before, with Proverbs 31 online Bible study. I'm a volunteer through there, and I really love it, and online ministry is just such a great thing. I also run Chronically Hopeful. I'm not really sure if that counts as socializing. I guess a little bit, right? Most of my in-person friends, though, are under 6. I'm very involved with the little kids at church, which is great. It is difficult, though, not having more in-person tall friends. But it's a common struggle for those of us with an illness, right? What is the hardest thing to do while flaring? Coping with the pain for me is definitely the hardest thing. My pain is something, even though I have a video on pain management, it's definitely still something I struggle with, even with so many coping methods. At times I do struggle with walking. Thankfully, it has not been a huge issue recently, which is always great. Do you worry about the future? Of course. I don't know of anybody with an illness who doesn't have one worry about the future. Fairly typical stuff, you know, as a chronic illness warrior, or things that I would worry about. Can I be independent? If I'm going to be able to drive, because right now I'm not allowed. I am a risk with my passing out, and now, of course, with seizures, not eating doesn't really, make me a candidate to drive either. If I'm going to be able to work a normal job, that's been extremely stressful at 24 recently. Even though I do have an online job, it's just I still worry about, can am I going to be able to work? I worry about being alone, isolated, and of course about my health getting worse, because some of my diseases, they seem to get worse as I age, because you're really old at 24 with this. But so those are definitely things I worry about. Favorite comfort food. Right now there's no favorite comfort food because I can't really eat. Basically whatever my body craves, I'm told to try to give it and hope and pray that it stays in. Before I was sick, I really liked pizza, frozen yogurt, or chocolate. Right now the favorite food's probably fruit snacks. I'm not really sure if it's a comfort food though, it's just something that stays in so I could take pills. Share a valuable lesson you've learned being sick. Cherish every moment. Don't take anything for granted. Be really thankful. Let people know how much you love them and appreciate them. The Lord will provide all you need, and you're stronger than you know. Name 3 things that you missed that was taken from you with your illness. My friends, I know people would say that they're not really true friends when they leave you because you're sick, but it doesn't make it any easier. I was so active before I was sick, as most people are. And it's just one of those things that hasn't gotten easier losing them, honestly. I really, really miss being able to just be on my feet for as long as I needed to or wanted to. I miss the freedom. I used to do a lot of mission work, and I was involved with retreats, and those are just things right now with my health I can't do, period. I'm hoping one day, of course, to go back to them, but they're not realistic. I miss freedom. Yeah, just the freedom to be able to go somewhere without having to plan it so much. I miss, even just going to Walmart to grab something, like the freedom to get in a car and go do that and not have to go, okay, like A, you need a ride if you can't drive. B, you need all of your as needed medicines, and I need to make sure I have my mask and my EpiPen and so many other things that you have to think of with chronic illness. How old were you when you first started experiencing symptoms? That I can remember, I was around 6 years old. That a lot of my stuff started like chronic pain and stomach issues, but I wasn't officially diagnosed until I was 19. The road to diagnosis can be a quite long one. I don't know of many people who have a very short road to a diagnosis these days. A lot of illnesses are quite complex, and a lot of them look like other illnesses, so diagnosing them is definitely a difficult thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry to kind of end a little bit abruptly. And I hope that you'll subscribe and like, and that you'll come back for future videos. Thanks for watching.